What are you doing here?
I had no choice.
What do you mean you had no choice?
Why did you spend the night on the beach?
How did you know that? How did you find me?
Andy called. He told me where you were. All your stuff is here. I don't get it. Why aren't you staying with Isabella's family?
I needed some space. You still haven't said why you're here.
I'm looking for you.
Does your husband know you're here?
I don't have a husband. I'm not getting married.
Mary, what are you doing here?
Listen, I know all about Paul leaving for California with little Ricky. But I'm here to tell you what I think about you, Isabella, and all the trouble you've caused. So don't even think about asking me to leave until I've had my say.
Well, I was just about to call you.
Oh, of course. Victory is no fun unless you can gloat.
No, Mary, no. I wanted to apologize. To apologize for any pain I might have caused you and to tell you how sorry I am that things aren't better between us.
You expect me to believe that?
I understand why you might doubt my sincerity, but just hear me out, okay? I want to make you an offer, which will prove I mean what I say, Mary.
Offer, huh? Well, this I can hardly wait to hear. Come on, spit it out.
Okay, I would like it very much if you would come and live with us in California.
If you guys need anything.
JT, if this is some kind of sick joke.
I'm being straight with you, Brittany.
You saw my dad with Billy's mom?
At the lodge.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, can we not rehash this again, please?
Damn it, JT, tell me.
All right, fine. Fine. Like I said, I was sitting at a table with your mom. While we were talking, your dad came downstairs with Jill.
Are you sure it was her?
I'm positive. Hey, maybe they were just meeting at the restaurant.
Right, for business.
They never set foot in the restaurant. It was first thing in the morning. And when they came downstairs from the hotel, they looked pretty friendly.
I can't believe this. No, JT, you're wrong. You have to be.
I wish I were. I wish I hadn't seen any of this, but I did. And now I'm telling you, because I don't want you screaming at me later for not saying anything.
The whole time I thought it was my mom's fault.
What?
I assumed she was to blame. But now... Well, how did she take it when she saw them together?
She,
Why am I even asking? She must have been furious. Did she make a scene? What did she do? Come on, JT, answer me. What happened?
Hey,
Hey, yourself. You got the good stuff for me?
right here. Pretty cool if I do say so myself.
Production estimates on 4 new products for the Tuvia line.
We've got winners there, Jack. We can use top quality ingredients, take the time to do it right, and still be competitive.
This is excellent. This is just, boy, keep up the good work. Where's Dad? Isn't he supposed to be here?
No. I was going to drop that stuff off to him a little bit later. He wanted to go to lunch.
Lunch? What, are you running to an old friend?
No, but I think he's lost his mind.
What do you mean?
You heard this whole thing about Jill finding out she was adopted, right?
Yeah, I did hear about that. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's not the half of it. She went through channels to try to find her birth mother.
Well, there's a potential train wreck. She find her?
Uh-huh. She thinks she's died and gone to heaven. Dad thinks the birth mother might be a fraud.
Well, the plot thickens. Has Dad told Jill this?
No, because he's not positive. But he's hell-bent on finding out the truth about this woman. In fact, even as we speak, he's assembled the unusual suspects.
Am I talking to myself? Catherine, this is Charlotte Ramsey. Charlotte, this is Catherine Chancellor.
Nice to meet you. My pleasure. John here has told me all about you. Oh? Yes, it seems that he used to date your sister.
Not my sister. Don't have one. Never did.
Oh, well.
Now, how likely is that, Catherine? 2 Charlotte Ramseys in our little town? It's a lot smaller then.
You're asking me?
Well, we knew everyone, didn't we?
Well, maybe. No offense, Miss Ramsey, but John here seems to have some agenda going. We were supposed to have a nice, friendly lunch together, and instead, he throws you in my face. All right, John, now you tell me what is going on, because I am beginning to lose my patience.
Now, Catherine, I am sorry. I did not mean to upset you.
And I don't mean to be rude to your friend.
Well, then let's just have some lunch together. I mean, we are 3 old residents of this lovely town. After all, we're a disappearing breed. Sure we can find something to talk about?
I don't know how well you know John, but he has never spent much time reliving the past. Now, all of a sudden, he is fascinated.
It comes with getting older, I guess.
I'm not talking about reliving anything. Just simply remembering old friends that we had in common.
Well, I don't know. That seems rather unlikely, since Charlotte didn't know the Ramseys that we knew.
You knew a Charlotte Ramsey?
Yes, I told John the sad story. And I don't feel like telling it again.
Well, my family was a happy bunch. I did get into some trouble when I was younger, but John already knows all about that. And I don't feel much like talking about that.
Well, seems like we're running very low on topics for conversation.
It does, indeed. John, I think I'll be going.
Oh, Charlotte, no, please stay.
I'll just go back to where you found me and wait. It was nice meeting you.
So sorry I'm late. I had a meeting.
No, no problem. Just take a deep breath.
Oh, you're so good for me. I'm glad you called.
Well, you're welcome.
I'm feeling barraged from all sides.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I've been so worried about Charlotte and drinking.
Ooh, I take it the problem wasn't so little after all.
She was at that bar of hers again last night. Then this morning, she was in my office tossing back brandy before 9 a.m.
Really? How'd you handle that?
Well, I begged and I pleaded, and then I talked tough. Did everything I could think of to try to get through to her.
Did you?
Miracle of miracles, I think I did.
Really? She's gonna try and quit drinking, huh?
I even got her to hand over that flask of hers.
You're amazing, you know that?
Well, I'm not kidding myself, but it is a first step.
Well, but it's the first step that you helped her with. Just like I know you're gonna be there and help her the rest of the way.
How do you always know exactly the right thing to say to me?
You know, this time that we share, it's become very important to me.
It's important to me, too. But I'm afraid it may have to end.
I really think you should talk to your mom about this.
Believe me, I will, but I want to know, what did she do when she saw my dad with Jill? Did she confront him?
No.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, she probably would have, but Jill and your dad left right away.
They didn't even see her there? I can't believe what that must have been like for her.
She tried her best to keep it together, but
What?
she was pretty shaken up. I mean, she just moved out of your house. She thought her marriage was over, and then all of a sudden she finds out her husband's been... I felt awful for her. But what was I supposed to do? You know, all I could say was I'm sorry, and that didn't feel like it was enough.
I bet my dad got an earful when he got back to the office. She was probably waiting there for him.
Actually, she wasn't in the mood for a big fight. She wanted to go up to her room, so I walked her up there, and...
Oh, that was sweet of you. I'm sure that meant a lot to her.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's all I can tell you. Just gotta hope that your parents can work this out.
Like, that'll happen. I always knew that my parents didn't have a fairy tale marriage, but I really didn't need this kind of proof.
Hey, maybe we should go home, sweetheart.
No, I'm okay.
I can knock off work a little early. It's no big deal.
Listen, you don't have to do that, Raul. I'm not gonna go back to the loft and sit around and cry my eyes out. What good is that gonna do? What was my dad thinking? I mean, it's bad enough that he cheats on my mom, but at the lodge, that's like her favorite place. And on top of that, it's with Jill. I mean, of all the women in the world, why does it have to be Billy's mother?
Billy obviously doesn't know about it.
Well, if he did find out about it, he'd go ballistic. And he has every right to after...
Hey, guys.
What's going on?
Well, wasn't that interesting?
Sorry, Catherine.
As well you should be. What on earth are you thinking, John? Didn't you believe me when I told you that I was not at all interested in reliving that awful, awful time?
And if that was the Charlotte Ramsey you knew, I suppose it would have dug all of that up.
Well, you suppose correctly. Why did you do it?
Because I thought that Charlotte Ramsey you once knew might have been a friend of yours at one time, and it would give you an opportunity to rekindle the friendship.
It's a lot of BS.
Oh, Catherine, I think Charlotte's a very interesting person. Had we talked a while, we could have talked about people, places, experiences we had in common.
No, I disagree. I didn't mean to discriminate, but just one look at that woman, and I could see that we had absolutely nothing in common. Nothing.
Oh, Catherine.
She hasn't aged very well at all.
So how are my two favorite people doing? Are you still waiting for number 3?
She's been and gone, and I'm fine. You know, actually, I think I ate too much for breakfast, and I find myself with no appetite whatsoever. So thank you for inviting me to lunch, John. And the next time, you'd be so kind to give me a warning. Possibly I could starve myself to death.
John, what's all that about?
I'm not sure.
The only downside, as I see it, is if Dad's wrong. I mean, if he goes after this Ramsey woman and she has the credentials, Jill's gonna go after his throat.
I know, it's very sweet of him. He's trying to protect her. As if she'd ever return the favor.
Well, you know what? It's his life. He's gonna do what he needs to do.
Well, he's got enough on his plate. He should be able to enjoy his golden years without this woman that he divorced years ago hanging around his neck like a rock.
Well, don't hold back, sis. Say what you really feel.
That's how I really feel. Thank you very much.
You know what I think? I think this company's about to head into some whitewater rapids in the next
Exactly.
few weeks.
Which is why we need our key executives to be in a happy, productive, and well-rested frame of mind,
Jill
thank you.
is going to be swindled, both emotionally and financially. She's going to be a basket case. Are you ready to volunteer to take on her workload if she's licking her wounds on the side? I'm sure not.
So you want me to move to California with you and Paul?
Very much, yes.
Do I really look that stupid?
Mary, I'm serious. I want you in our lives, especially Ricky's.
Why? He'll have your parents and all your relatives.
Yes, but I was brought up in a culture where being surrounded by a large extended family was considered a wonderful thing. Brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins, all part of each other's lives. And no one more important than grandparents. And that's the life I want for Ricky.
Why are you so nervous?
Not, I'm just on edge a little. Everything's been chaotic, the moving and the packing, and now you're here filled with anger.
Oh, come on, Isabella, you can do better than that.
What do you mean?
Is this some kind of trick? A way of stabbing me in the back just one more time?
No, I swear to you, this is not a trick, Mary. I realized how much pain you're in. You know, your son and your grandson moving so far away.
And overnight, you've just suddenly turned into this very sensitive person. I don't buy it, Isabella.
Why are you being so stubborn? It's not like our history has been all bad.
No, it hasn't.
No, if you recall, we were friends at one time.
Until you showed your true colors.
People can change, can't they?
Perhaps. But there's usually a good reason for that change. So why don't you just stop trying to con me and let me know what you're really up to?
You're sure about this? There was never a threat to Isabella from her ex-husband.
It was all a hoax.
Do you mind telling me how you found out about this?
Michael told me the night before we were supposed to get married.
Oh, what, a sudden act of conscience?
He said he couldn't marry me carrying around this secret. Yeah, I know. It blew me away, too.
Yeah, well, I still don't think I'm following this whole thing.
It's because you haven't heard it all.
What, there's more?
Why do you think Isabella showed up at your office that day? I'll tell you why. Michael knew you were planning to come see me. He hoped that she would provide enough of a distraction to keep you from making the trip. And it actually worked.
Frederick, what are you saying?
We can't keep seeing each other, spending time together. It's just too dangerous, Joe.
Don't tell me. Anita.
Yeah, she's being totally unreasonable.
Did you have another fight with her?
I couldn't avoid telling Brittany that her mother and I are separated. Anita resented it, and she wouldn't promise that she wouldn't go to Brittany and tell her the reason why.
Oh, as if we're the reason. Our fictitious affair.
I know, but she refuses to listen.
Your wife is trying to hurt you. She wants a threat to hold over your head. And apparently she's succeeding.
Jill, I'm sorry. But if we even give a hint that you and I are involved together, it'll just give Anita the ammunition that she needs.
I know. This really floors me, though, because the truth is Anita could have gone to Brittany days ago and told her about our supposed affair, and she didn't do that, which got me started thinking maybe she has a mature bone in her body.
Come on. Anita knows that telling Brittany won't accomplish anything. She's just being vindictive.
This is insane. We didn't do anything.
I know that, and you know that. And Anita even knows that. When she's through spewing out all of her poison to Brittany.
Yeah, and Brittany goes to Billy.
I know.
This can't be happening. I mean, my relationship with my son is very rocky right now. We're barely speaking as it is because he's so determined to go through with this idiotic wedding. Oh, and then Mackenzie, when she finds out, she's gonna get up on her moral high horse and poison my son's mind against me.
Maybe it won't be as bad as you think.
It will. It will be a disaster. I gotta do something. You know, I've got to deal with this.
Jill, panicking isn't gonna help anything.
No. I'll tell you what will help. I'm gonna go to Anita. I'm gonna tell her to keep her mouth shut.
Oh, you guys are sure in a good mood.
That's because we are having one fantastic day.
Why? What's going on?
We booked a place for the wedding.
Oh, you guys picked a church?
No, we're getting married at the Colonnade Room.
What happened to the whole staying out of debt thing?
Mac's grandmother's picking up the tab.
She insisted on helping out.
That's not all she did. Show him.
Whoa. Get a load of that. That's one big rock.
My grandpa Reynolds gave it to my grandma when they got engaged.
It's pretty impressive. Hey, babe, you want to come take a look at this?
It's beautiful. Congratulations.
Gee, Brett, don't overdo it on the enthusiasm.
Look, I don't mean to be a drag, but I cannot get excited about your big ring and your big wedding right now. I'm having a terrible day. Sorry to hear that.
No need to take it out on us.
If you had any clue what I'm going through,
What is it?
if you tell us, maybe we can help.
Maybe we should go in the back and talk.
I know, I've got to get out of here.
All right, fine, then I'll go with you.
No, thanks. There's something I have to do.
This is great, Ash, just great.
Look at page 4.
Oh, I'm glad you're both here.
Hey, Sherlock Holmes. How did your luncheon trap go? Did you catch your villain?
Very funny. Jack, listen.
Actually, Ash already filled me in. Did the two women recognize each other?
Well, at first, I didn't think so.
But then what?
Well, here's the thing. When I introduced Catherine to Charlotte, you could feel the intensity in the air, and they really looked at each other hard. And then they acted as if they'd never met.
Acted as if.
Yeah. On the way here, I went over this in my mind, and I am convinced that they knew each other, and well.
So Baldwin set up everything, even that first meeting with Isabella. Is that what you're telling me?
She owed him a favor from a long time ago.
He owed him an arrangement.
Well, they'd known each other for years. It wasn't an accident. None of what happened was an accident.
Are you absolutely sure?
Positive.
Bastard.
It wasn't just Michael. He didn't do this alone. That's why I had to find you, Paul. I felt you had to know.
So that's just about everything. My whole life now. My marriage, my family, it's a lie. The whole damn thing is a lie.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I know what this is doing to you.
I don't blame you for being skeptical.
I'd think that you'd be jumping for joy at the chance to get rid of me.
No, Mary, I want to be friends again. And I promise you, my family will welcome you with open arms.
How can you even suggest such a thing after all that's happened?
Because I realize I have a chance to start over with a clean slate.
Oh, in other words, now that you have everything you want, you can afford to throw me a few crumbs.
And I realized you had valid reasons for objecting to my relationship with your son. Reasons that started back that first summer.
Well, if you're talking about Christine and Paul when they were having problems.
Problems, Mary. Their marriage was hanging by a thread. Christine was in Asia. Paul was here.
But he was still a married man.
Technically, yes. And it's true. I wasn't totally honest with you about my feelings for Paul.
No, you weren't. You lied to my face. All the time, living under my roof, accepting my hospitality. Now, can you blame me for feeling betrayed?
You feel I took advantage of your son?
Well, didn't you?
In a way, I suppose.
In a way. Because of you, Paul lost any chance of making things right with Christine. And now they're divorced.
Which goes against our faith, and I'm sorry for that.
And now you want me to move in with you? Really, Isabella?
Why is it so hard for you to believe that I'm sincere?
Because you don't have a sincere bone in your body.
Mary, I've made mistakes, terrible ones. But for so long, I was terrified of losing Paul because Christine was still hovering around, reminding him of the past and what he lost.
I hope you don't expect my sympathy. Because if it weren't for you, the two of them would probably still be married.
No, I'm not asking for your sympathy. But what I am asking is for you to find it in your heart to give me a second chance. I have everything I've ever wanted. I wanted to be a wife and a mother. And I've never been happier. And now I want to do something for Paul and Ricky, and even for myself.
What does that mean?
You're a wise woman, Mary. A good Christian woman, and I want to know that you're on my side rather than against me.
And you think that by asking me to move to California with you, that's going to make everything all right? We're just going to suddenly hug and make up?
I'm sure it's going to take some time. But if you let me, I will spend the rest of my life proving to you that I mean what I say. Please, come with us to California. Please say yes.
I'm still not sure I follow. How do you know that Catherine and Jill's birth mother actually know each other?
Because, as I said, there was an intensity to their first encounter. At first, I thought it was just two ladies surprised. Because Catherine did not know that I was going to bring anybody to lunch. And Charlotte did not know that anybody would be there at the table when we arrived. I thought it could be that.
Well, it sounds like it could have been that, Dad.
But at the end, after Charlotte left, Catherine said something. First, she said that they had nothing in common. And then, get this, she said that Charlotte hadn't aged well.
What?
Yeah. Why would she say something like that?
I mean, could it have just been cattiness?
Jack.
Doesn't sound like that, though, Jack.
Well, listen, Catherine's also a very sharp lady. She would have to know that she'd given herself away.
Yes, but the moment the words came out of her mouth, Gina walked up talking to her and distracted her. I do not think she realized the slip or that I overheard it.
I don't know. Ash, what do you think?
I think she slipped.
And it seems to me they knew each other, or at the very least, that Catherine knew Charlotte.
Why would Catherine pretend not to know this person?
Well, think about it. The Charlotte Ramsey that she knew involved her in a horrible mess. A pregnancy, a botched abortion, a near-fatal illness. It was a very intense time. And from Catherine's point of view, it was all the result of carelessness and stupidity.
And just because Catherine helped her at one time...
Doesn't necessarily mean she has a soft spot in her heart for it.
If Catherine pretended not to know her, then why would Charlotte Ramsey say, "Don't you recognize me?"
Which is why I think it's time for the next step.
And what is the next step? Tell Jill about this?
No, not yet, no. But I think it's time that I took the step to find out as much as I can about this Charlotte Ramsey.
What the heck's going on with Brittany?
I think I know.
You do?
She feels awkward around me because of the whole maid of honor thing.
What on this?
Mac asked Britt to be in the wedding party.
She turned you down?
Seemed sorry about saying no, but said she couldn't. I don't really understand it, but I'm not gonna hold it against her.
Listen, I talked to her this morning after you left. All right, she really didn't mean to offend you, trust me. It's no hard feelings.
So why'd she tear out of here just now?
You know, I just remembered there's something I need to do. Can one of you stick around and cover for me?
Sure, I'll stay.
Yeah, I'll hang too.
All right, thanks.
Well, we sure know how to clear a room.
No, that's not you guys.
Yeah, I get the feeling there's something Mac and I don't know here.
Brittany got some news today, and it's kind of a blow to her.
She okay?
There wasn't, like, a death in her family.
No, it's nothing like that. It's,
If it's too personal, you could tell us to mind our own business.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I swear, I can't say anything.
Yeah, we understand, but when you talk to Brittany, remind her that we're all supposed to be friends here. She can trust us.
Yeah, I'll pass that along.
You're really worried about her.
You know, Mac, after this whole pregnancy scare thing, I just thought that everything was gonna calm down, our lives would get back to normal, but now something else has come up, and I'm just afraid of what it's gonna do to her.
No, don't try to stop me, Frederick.
Wait. Let's just talk about this first. Come on. You go charging out of here trying to confront Anita. It's just gonna make her more determined than ever to tell Brittany. You know what she'll do? She'll just paint the two of us in the worst possible light.
We did nothing wrong.
We'll convince Anita of that.
So what are you telling me? There's nothing we can do here? There's no way we can fight this?
All we gotta do right now is just calm down in case we have to do some damage control later.
Without each other's support.
We'll get through it.
How? This is so unfair.
There's always the telephone, huh?
It's not the same.
Won't be forever.
I know I'm asking a lot for you to set aside your bitterness and anger.
I don't think I can.
Well, doesn't the Lord's Prayer tell us to forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us?
Yes, but...
And I know you live by those words. I mean, take Christine, for example.
What about her?
You had your reservations about the woman. How she wanted to put her career before family. She wouldn't give Paul the child he wanted. And you two managed to put your differences aside, didn't you?
It wasn't easy.
And maybe this won't be either. But Mary, I'm willing to do everything in my power to make things right with us. Please just come with us to California.
You really that determined to change?
Yes, I am. And I need to see you, Isabella. Now is not a really good time.
Nan?
Mrs. Williams, what are you doing here? Have you heard?
About the offer that she's making? We were just discussing it.
Offer? What offer?
Well, she wants me to move to California with Paul.
Oh, Isabella,
You're good.
you really are. But you're not gonna worm your way out of this.
This is like a bad dream.
Your whole world has changed.
I feel so empty. I feel cheated.
You have been.
God, Chris, I sold my business. I'm supposed to be out here looking for a house. To start a new life with that woman who loves me so deeply.
Isabella falling in love with you was never part of their plan. It was like an added bonus.
Yeah, like Ricky. So what about my little boy? My son? You know, he didn't ask for any of this.
Can you ever forgive me?
Forgive you.
I felt you had to know, but it kills me to see you like this.
I had to know the truth, Chris. You know, I thought I was building a life that meant something. I was willing to sacrifice everything.
Yes, you were.
What do I do now?
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Guess there's no turning back. There's just a lot to sort out.
Are you gonna be all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'll be fine.
I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm really, really sorry. For both of us.
Chris! Chris! Don't go! Please, don't go!